I guess now for a few years I have known Mathew Medina, and I've seen the videos online with Cody Hess. They're great activists, and they're also radio talk show hosts. I can hear them here locally in Austin on 90.1 weeknights, and I just really enjoy listening to their show when I'm driving home later in the evening and tuning into it. So I thought, why not have Mathew Medina and Cody Hess in studio? And they've brought another We Are Change activist, Rachael-France, along with them. And they're going to be with us for the rest of the hour. We'll have to get some headphones on towards the end, because I am going to take some calls from 9/11 truthers out there, or folks that disagree with us. But we're going to see a lot of attacks coming up in the future against 9/11 truth, because it's out there that government staged terror. It's out there that Obama shipped guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment. He doesn't care that he's been caught. They're still going to use it, and are now announcing they're using it to go after the Second Amendment. They're telling gun shops how many guns they can sell now outside of law. That's called dictatorship. I don't have a law, but I'm the decider, so that's the way it is. And we've had this slide towards tyranny, but now you got Mitch McConnell yesterday saying, we'll just give Obama the power of the purse. Violates Article 1, Section 8, to another extent, Section 7, Article 1, Section 7. This is all happening right now. And coming up later, we've got Ron Paul grilling the head bankster, Ben Bernanke. And Bernanke tells Paul, gold is not money. Our fiat money is money. And they're going into QE3 now, like Mexico did back in the 80s, devaluing the dollar. The peso soon will be on par with the dollar, to give people an idea, or I guess with the old ruble. But they're telling us there's no inflation. It's very low. Everything's fine. But more and more they're having to admit, no, we're actually in a depression. So a lot is happening. And I don't know where to start with you guys. You're doing a great job down in San Antonio. And there's other people spontaneously all over the country confronting politicians with real questions, involved in activist actions. But Mathew, Cody, and of course, she didn't really want to be interviewed, but we drug her in here. Rachael, just what do you think's most important happening in the world right now?
It's that, like, people are really starting to get active. I mean, I think that's the most important thing, is that people now are using the information they know to hit the streets and to get something done.
Yeah, definitely. I would say one of the most important things to talk about right now, activism. The activism is red hot. I mean, we can look around the world and see the revolutions, and of course they're staged, and we can see all this, but here's something genuine in the InfoWar activism. We want to highlight that, because that's what we've been doing. That's what I've been doing for 4 years now in San Antonio, as you know, because I've seen you a lot, around here in Texas doing activism, man. It's been nonstop, and definitely so much going on in the world, like you just brought up. But I mean, specifically the Operation Gunrunner, Fast and the Furious, we've planned 2 street actions for this month. One of our friends, Henry Havoc from We Are Change San Antonio, made this sweet little box, and it opens up. What is Fast and the Furious? It opens up, and we're going to put the articles and a flyer and everything. And it's like a presentation, and we intro them to the false flag of this whole ATF letting the guns walk. And we're custom making DVDs that we're going to hand out. So there's 2 actions we're going to do on that topic this month. And
I should also add, you guys make videos of the actions that have been seen by millions of people, and this is an example of how the alternative media is becoming the mainstream media. But getting into Fast and Furious, now it's coming out that the government actually shipped them and delivered them to Los Zetas. Well, Sully Costello told us that 6 years ago, and again 5 years ago.
And they locked him up.
And they locked him up for it.
I mean, their lives are finally eroding. It's starting to get like that. I mean, the more this stuff gets out there in the open and exposed, I mean, the more we have an opportunity to wake everybody.
And the people that have said we're kooks, they're the fools. 15 years ago, I had government documents. They knew that cell phones were causing brain cancer. Well, here it is. Fox News, CNN, cell phones, cancer, and infertility, 100% fact. See?
Yeah. Just like they knew asbestos was bad. If you want to go old school, they know a lot of these things are bad for us, and that's why it's our duty to expose it. And right now is the time. Everybody has the information. We're seeing young people are waking up when we do street actions. I mean, the people that recognize this the most on the streets of San Antonio are teenagers watching our YouTube videos. So it's a good thing I mean, that's a really positive thing, a bright thing for the future. So definitely encouraging all the listeners to take action.
Yeah, the new generation is the way of the future. Like right here, we got an article, Ron Paul, why the young flock to an old idealist. I mean, they try to frame it like he's an old guy, it's old ideals, but really, I mean, this guy's putting everything that all young folk would like. I mean, all the young generation wants to be free. They don't want to live in this tyranny they see, and they see their future eroding. That's what I see. I mean, I'm young. I'm 21 years old. I see, like, 10 years from now, I mean, am I going to have a future? It doesn't look like it.
Not if we let these criminals continue to blow stuff up and take our rights and pose as our savior. Rachael, how did you get woken up?
Well, I started looking into videos just online, and I started kind of, over there.
No, it's okay. They're moving it over. We need to hook a few more up in here. Go ahead.
Basically, well, at first I didn't really want to believe a lot of the things that I was, finding, and I kind of like looked the other way, but you get to a point where you can't, because there's just so many facts, that are just like right in front of your face. And I think people just like to live like, I don't know, in their own world, and, not really acknowledge like what's going on. And that's like a source of frustration, I think, for all of us, because it's like we're trying to wake people up, and a lot of people like don't want to hear it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if we got killers running things, we better get them out of there. We're not safe.
Gotta face reality.
Yeah, it's definitely just a basic gut reaction to all this information. I mean, what are we supposed to do? To find out about all this and not do anything? We're just supposed to stay home and play video games? Are we not supposed to get fired up about this? Are we just supposed to get fired up about what, Xbox Live, PS3, watching some HD? I mean, come on, some serious stuff is going on. We need good people to stand up, stand for what's right. And yeah, a lot of people put up a fake front that they don't want to hear this because they're faking it themselves. They're not at inner peace and ready and willing to stand up for those around, to stand for what's good. And that's what we're trying to do. We are Change San Antonio, Truth Exposed Radio, and we're encouraging and highlighting all the other people feeling the same way as us, the guys in Dallas, the Health and Light guys who, I know they got in the top 10, the V for Victory video, where they just plastered posters everywhere. They just made the Global Elites video.
The whole Dallas area.
They had two videos that were just on the front of InfoWars recently in the last week.
They're awesome. No, I mean, listen.
They got passion. We got passion.
And listen, they can't kill or lock us all up, and it's growing exponentially. Yeah. Take Luke Radowski. They kicked him out of 9/11 Truth because it was pretty much controlled in New York to a certain extent. I put him on air, said, folks, follow this example. The cops tried to say he had bombs. Turned out that was fake. It totally exploded. And then he was an example to others. Now you're an example to others. Yeah. It's a chain reaction. What do you make of Bob Graham coming out on MSNBC, one of the top 9/11 commissioners, and saying the U.S. government did protect the hijackers?
They're finally having to come out with their lies, because, I mean, 9/11 Truth is growing so much to where now they're going to have to say, yeah, it is that way, but what are you guys going to do about it?
Well, their new hoax is 9/11 Truth dead. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's on fire everywhere. 9 years ago, most of the radio stations kicked me off because of 9/11 Truth. Now they're putting me on because of it. It's totally mainline now. So the BBC's running this hoax that, 9/11 Truth's dead. Yeah, folks.
Yeah, it's a war tactic. A war tactic to get all of us is to be like,
you've lost. The war's over.
Yeah.
Go home.
No, that's what they want. Anniversary.
Well, it's also saying cease fire, and then they fire all their weapons.
Because everyone in this already is so frustrated, like she was saying, that people just won't accept the knowledge. They won't wake up. So you can get frustrated because it's like you see all this going on, but people around you, they won't wake up to it. And then even if they do wake up to it, they won't get active with it. And I think that's all that really matters. I mean, just knowing the knowledge isn't enough now. I mean, that time has passed. Now we're at the precipice in history where we really have to make a choice, get active, or sit back and say, they'll do it.
Well, here's an example. I've got several million people that listen to this show every day. What would happen if all of them started putting out a neighborhood newsletter? What would happen if all of them got even if you don't understand the technology, I didn't understand the technology years ago, get your neighbor to help you do YouTube videos every day. It's very easy. What if everybody started talking? Everybody will reach people. Everybody will have a good effect. Some people are going to be more talented, more intelligent than I am or you are. We're going to find future Alex Joneses, future Luke Radowskis. We're going to find future Rachael Frenches. We're going to find future Cody Hesses. We're going to find future Ron Pauls. It's time to turn it loose. Just like they have the farming teams for baseball, it is time to turn it on.
Yeah, and you're right. And just bringing up the sports analogy is perfect. I would say Truth Exposed Radio is the sports center of the new wave of anti-New World Order activists. I mean, you have Matthias and Pedro in Chile who confronted David Rachael.
You have them all on. That's the show I heard last week, where you had like 20 different activists on from all over the world. That many of them are making national news by slamming and bamming.
Right now, Matthias and Pedro in Chile, they just released a classified document from a business, a $7 billion U.S. plan to build this energy line, and it's 70% of the people are against it. Well, the documents released to Matthias, and he leaked them out, and now the publications in Chile are saying his website is the WikiLeaks of Chile. This just happened yesterday. They sent it to me.
Yeah, and these guys are young. I mean, they're
history's here.
It is.
Listen down the road. You're going to wish you got in the fight for 1776. 1776 worldwide. It's time to just get some on the New World Order,
dude. It's right.
Yeah.
Don't wait. Don't wait till 20 years when it's cool now. No, jump on it now before it's cool. We're doing it now. Matias and Pedro and Chile over here in the U.S.
And now more people are going to send them documents.
Switzerland. That's right. Yeah, more people.
And they'll try to take over that, but more will be launched. I mean, we need to launch 1,000 X-Wings at this Death Star.
Throwing info nuggets in the pond of consciousness of the minds of men is what we're doing. And we're just launching DVDs. We found it out well over 30,000.
That's what I've always said. Don't stop. Just fire in all directions.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not stopping.
If you hand out 100 DVDs and it gets to one person to watch it, I mean, you already woke up a mind. I mean, that's all that matters. I would spend $20 to get 100 DVDs to wake up one person.
And that's how we've been surviving, is the fact that people, it's like a family network, and We Are Change San Antonio. Different people always pitching in DVDs so we can keep going, and we keep making videos. And for example, our camcorder died last year, and we haven't had a camcorder. We've been using our iPhones. So the point is, you do what you can.
I'll give you one right now. I've got piles of old cameras that aren't compatible with our new computers.
That was last year. We didn't stop. We kept making videos with what we have, and that's what we try to tell everybody. Just do what you can with what you have. Don't stress out about.
But now you've gotten some cameras, then you're saying.
No,
we're going to give you some right now, then.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Because, we're going to put them to use. The videos are just as important as the action, because the videos show an example of how to get active. It shows that it's easy. I mean, we go out there, we have a good time. We're not out there like, oh, we got to do this. We're like, hey, let's have fun with it. We go.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
We get active.
Well, listen, I got some AK-47s for you in the info war. I've got a bunch of cameras we really can't use because they're not compatible with the latest computers. So we're going to get you some more weapons.
That's awesome.
But I mean, exactly, all over the place, people are having a huge effect. Stay there. Let's talk about more of what's happening. Yeah. See if we can't cause an info riot here today. I'm Alex Jones. This is the GCN Radio Network, GCNlive.com.